Hey guys, this is Accounting Nightmare, and this is our challenge mode run for Scarlet Halls. This is one of the first challenge modes that you're recommended to do. And of the three we've done so far, this is my least favourite. It's just filled with mechanics that sometimes fail on you completely and need just some really specific things to be done for them to work. So you want people to pick up the buckets of dog food. You need it to be organised beforehand who's going to do that. And you throw the dog food on the guy and the dogs eat him. That's lovely. Make sure you hit the guy first or you will not get credit for the kill. And you'll reach the final boss and you will be missing some kills. And that's not good because the challenge mode won't finish. Yeah, so make sure your tank actually does damage to them or have a DPS assigned to do that. And make sure your tank stays there for a few seconds until the dog actually starts eating them, otherwise they might just run off and follow your tank and ignore the bucket. That happens quite often. Yeah, so you have someone pick up the little target, that's the word I was thinking of. They come down the end here, they activate all the mobs, we use our tank for it. After he does that, there's a 2-second stun, then he can pull everything. So I try to stand pretty far away from them because they're going to come right for me as the healer. And that wasn't a boss, it was just like a mini boss. And you need someone to go around the corner there to throw the bucket on the guy there. Our tank does it, but his monk abilities are kind of bugged. Sometimes it just will not activate, so we had to have our warlock go as well to throw the bucket. We had a lot of problems today. On our previous day of attempts, it was completely fine for our monk tank. None of these bugs happened, but yeah, this was a bad day for us. And the first boss, the Houndmaster. Not too much to worry about here, but there is quite a lot of damage that goes around. He has a move called Grievous Throw, where he puts a debuff on a random person that causes them to take damage. And I tried to add it to my healing frames, but I added the wrong thing. The debuff is not called Grievous Throw, it's called Bloody Mess. So if you're going to do that, add Bloody Mess, not Grievous Throw. It's not too bad though, as long as you just heal the people who are taking damage, you'll be fine. And he also calls random dogs in to start attacking people. A tank grabs as many as he can, but there's so many coming in all the time that you'll probably have some loose. Either that or they've got a fixate. Usually on this guy I do pretty well for mana, but on the last few attempts for some reason I was just absolutely at the end of this fight. I must have done something rather wrong here. But thankfully once the boss gets to low health he stops fighting you, and then his dogs eat him. You should be in combat for this whole section, but once he dies, hopefully combat will drop right away so you can start drinking. So I'd try and stop healing people there, normally. Yeah, so I did a couple heals there, now I'm just stuck in combat for ages. While the dogs are eating those dudes, don't try and run through them. Wait until they're done and then run through. Yeah, now combat can break, so now I can drink up. I need tons of mana for this next trash pool, because it's gonna hurt. This is where you want to pop your potions, invisibility potions. 15-second ones will do fine, you don't need the 18-second ones. You need to run all the way through to this staircase. And do not go too far up because there's a pat up there, a patrol, and that's going to hurt. Because you need to grab a patrol from down below as well. You can't skip them because you need them to get enough enemy kills for the challenge mode. Yeah, so you want to pull them and they hurt a lot. Be ready to pop all your cooldowns for this pull. You won't need him for the boss, he's not too bad. But this trash ball, oh, it's nasty. The evangelists do I think it's a holy fire. And it does loads of damage. Try and interrupt that if you can. And try and burst them down. And the defender is the one you should kill last, because he just doesn't do anything. He's pathetic. Yeah, so be careful about where the pad is before you just run up into the corridor. Make sure that they're in a safe spot. You don't want to do that group right after the other one because your cooldowns will not be up. Okay, so this boss, he's not too bad. Just make sure you don't blow your mana or anything silly like that. He calls ads, which is why I like to stand down here near the tank, so he can pull them off me nice and quick, because of course they'll come right for me. And he doesn't actually really do much. The ads have some kind of thing where I think they have to be hit a couple times before they lose their armour, which makes them much more easily tankable. The only thing you need to look out for in this fight is Blades of Light, and here it is. The super easy way to dodge it is to stand right here, and once he starts going around you can jump down to the floor here. And you will be safe. That's all there is to it. Hopefully he can pick up the ads on his way past. One pretty nice thing that I can do as the healer is if I have some of those little dudes beating on me, I can stand up the top there, and then I can pop Void Tendrils and jump down, and that will keep them snared in the path of the boss. So he'll pick them up in his whirlwind and they will die horribly. Serves them right, I think. This guy also, I think he does more damage the lower he gets in health. He's got some kind of enrage thing going on here. And hopefully you can kill him before he does his second Blades of Light. That's the sort of target you want to be aiming for. Yeah, so I'm trying to go up the ramp to get ready to move on. Because I'm going to be the slowest one of the group, because I need to stop and drink before this next pull. Or the pull will destroy us. Yeah, so once again I use Restorative Amber. If you're a healer doing challenge modes, get Restorative Amber. Just get a couple stacks of this stuff. I actually carry around 3 stacks for challenge modes. You buy it from the Klaxi at Friendly. It's just like normal water, you have to actually be out of combat to start drinking, but it fills up your mana so quick, saves so much time. The only thing about it is that it actually stuns you while you're drinking. You have to right click off the debuff, or off the buff in this case. And I've actually just made a cancel aura macro, so I can just click that instead of having to sort through my constantly changing buffs. Yeah, so another pull just like the one before. Be liberal with your cooldowns here, this pull hurts. Once again, the Evangelist is rather nasty. Most of the group is actually nasty though, except for that defender, so yeah, you want to leave him for last. There's plenty of trash here actually until the next boss. It's pretty much just all trash. And the trash in challenge modes is usually the hardest part. The bosses themselves are pretty simple, it's just the trash hits like a truck. I don't really know why they've gone with that particular design. I think it's kind of strange. I think the bosses should be the actual challenge, but eh. These guys do a stun on people, it's kind of annoying. It's short term, it's dispellable, but if they stun you, then obviously you can't dispel it because you're stunned. On our previous runs I usually didn't get the stun, but on this one I think I get stunned several times. It's kind of annoying. And I used a quick break here to start drinking. Oh no, I tried to, but I was back in combat already. But that's right, this is a pretty small pull here. Don't pull too much here because the damage can just ramp up so quickly. These guys throw statues at random people. That's kind of a nasty thing to do. And it doesn't do quite as much damage as you'd think it would, you know, being hit in the head with a freaking statue. Yeah, there you go, I'm stunned again. They're picking on me this time. And again. So I mash my self-heal there, my Desperate Prayer, and my Healthstone. Having a Warlock in the group is so nice. And now I take my opportunity to drink. Yeah, my little cancel aura macro is right next to my amber macro, button. So I can just click one and then click the other, and off I go. Because you don't want to be stuck in the amber while the tank's pulling the next group and he's getting hammered, and you're going, oh god, I'm stunned. Trying to find the debuff to click off. This is just way better for me anyway. Yeah, so these treasures they don't really do anything scary. They just, if you get too many of them, they're gonna hit quite hard. Now for a much bigger pull. They do some kind of big red shield. I think it reduces the damage taken by everyone in it. I'm not sure which mob does it, but you want to interrupt that. Make sure your interrupters are looking out for who does it. Looks like it was that mob that just died. If you need to blow any cooldowns here, then go ahead and do it. You shouldn't need them for the boss. The boss himself isn't really that bad. And you want to try and get plenty of mana back here, because that way you can kill this next group and then you could probably just run straight into the boss. You shouldn't need much mana for him. It should be okay. So this place it has tons of trash, but thankfully you can skip a load of it with the invisibility pots. And they're pretty much required here, so make sure you've got some of them. I started drinking a little bit. I probably didn't even need to, but I just wanted to be sure. This guy's got a few little gimmicks. He's got something you really need to interrupt, which is his Pyroblast volley. Very scary. Or is it a Fireball volley? One of the two. His Pyroblast hurts quite a bit, but make sure you interrupt that volley because, ow. Yeah, he got one off there. Boom. And someone got hit by a tick of the Book Burner as well, which means that they're dead. Very painful. He puts a buff on himself, Quicken Mind. You want to dispel that? And I've been making sure I dispel that. I actually should have asked our mage if it's spell stealable, because if it is, then that'll help his DPS, I assume. So I should have asked him that before this run, but I just went ahead and dispelled just to be sure. And the Book Burner, you can see which way he's going to do it. There's like an orange line. I think you're supposed to stand in it. I'm not sure if it's supposed to be the tank who does that. Yeah, 'cause I did it there and it did 80% of my health. It's quite dangerous to absorb it, but it does stop him from doing the pulsing damage AoE, so that's always a good thing. And there's the Greater Dragon's Breath, which you pretty much just run around. It's like the water guy in Temple of the Jade Serpent. Just look at which way he's facing and sort of run around in a clockwise direction. It's always clockwise, I'm not sure why. They like clockwise, I guess. And Pyroblast puts a dot on the tank. You can dispel that if you want. I don't think it's too important. The tank damage here isn't very high, but why not dispel? Why not? And our Hunter absorbed that one, and he took less damage than I did. I don't know if armor mitigates it or something. That would be kind of strange, but yeah. So we'd almost killed the boss there. I just threw a Guardian Spirit on the tank just to be sure, because it was an unused cooldown. So why not use it? And that's Scarlet Halls. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.